Hi, in this video, I am welcome to explain the main assembly plants in India. First one
Majority of our workforce is women coming from remote villages with little opportunities.
చిన్నపిల్లలు ఉన్న వల్ల ఇంట్లోనే ఉండిపోయాను. నాకంటూ ఒక గుర్తింపు లేదు.
మా రిలేషన్ కూడా మా ఇంటికి వచ్చేవాళ్ళు కాదు. ఎందువల్లంటే రేకులు ఇంట్లో ఉన్నారు అనేసి అన్ని ఫీలింగ్ చూపించేవాళ్ళు.
ఇటీవల కొన్ని ప్రాబ్లం వల్ల మేము చాలా అప్పుల్లో అయిపోయినాము.
Make in India is one of the key programs started by Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi and is changing the economic landscape of the country and will create millions of jobs. When we started our India business, we wanted to build a truly Indian company with Indian values. That's why we announced our Make in India plans. Our first plant was already being run at more than 100% utilization. And still, we were not able to fulfill the entire demand. That's when we started planning a new manufacturing plant along with a partner, Foxconn.
As a part of this Make in India initiative, we consider this as
this is a Noida company located in the Uttar Pradesh. These are the photos inside in the Xiaomi company. Samsung is also one of the biggest assembly plant in India. Samsung, it is one of the biggest assembling plant in India. It is located in Chennai, Uttar Pradesh, in Noida and Gujarat. It invested so many money. These are the photos Samsung factory in Chennai. Samsung Electronics, it is also located in India in so many cities like Uttar Pradesh, Chennai. These are the photos inside the Samsung company. These are the photos Make in India in launched in Uttar Pradesh. Oppo is located in Noida in same Uttar Pradesh state.
This was that tall, so you can fit in your hand really well. But this one's the best experience.
The creation process for their phones, but also all of the testing that goes into their quality control. But first, however, we did have to have a little bit of a powwow, but before rigorous routines in order to make sure that they had high fidelity. Now, a quick history lesson told us that this particular portion of the factory originally was set to Oppo's Blu-ray player, so all of the different circuits and the processors that went into their Blu-ray players were put here. But of course, as the evolution went with Oppo, it eventually went on to cell phones and smartphones, a lot of which were on display at the beginning of this particular portion of the tour. The sights and sounds to a factory like this are probably what you would expect. You have dozens and dozens of people in just this one room and hundreds inside the entire factory itself, with lights accompanying them and the whirring and the sounds of the machines that are really sort of the soundtrack behind what is ultimately the creation and the testing of a phone. Now, we did look at the process of creating a processor for one of these phones, the R7 in particular, and you can see the boards right here that are created in different batches. And not only are they put inside different machines in order to create the little bits and pieces that are then melded onto the boards, but they are also tested later on to ensure their quality in a number of different conditions. This particular machine will not only meld all of the pieces together in a very high temperature heat, but then later on they will be put into a computer and be tested for all the tiny little parts to make sure that they are working properly. What we give Oppo a lot of credit for, and as we were able to see firsthand, is the fact that Oppo really creates everything themselves in their own factories. They don't really outsource pretty much any part of the phone to another ODM or anything like that. But of course, in an office like this, you have people not just working in factories just like the one you just saw, but of course there are designers and a lot of logistics going on the business side of things in offices such as this that we didn't necessarily get to see. But here is where we got to the quality control section, and what you just saw this person do is put some R7s inside of this tumbler, and essentially this tumbler will rotate a lot of times in just 1 hour in order to test its structural capabilities. And even over here, just past it, was a small 2-inch-ish test in order to see just how the phone would fare in very tiny drops. And even this machine that keeps pressing the buttons for 42,000 times a day to make sure that they are going to last for the entirety of their lifetime. This particular particular one is just a pressing test in order to see if under some pressure the phone is not going to cave or to get any dents or anything like that. And of course, a big old drop test machine that we got to see a number of times. Here is a look at the temperature and various conditions testing. From sub-zero temperatures to super high temperatures, they put these phones in a bunch of different machines in order to test whether or not they will still be operable. And all the phones you're seeing in this particular VAT are actually on and performing one app in order to see if they would continue to do so even under all of these extreme cold or hot conditions. But of course, there are times when you just can't get past.
These are the top smartphone brand phones in India. The Apple also is located in the Bengaluru.
Never before have we built a product with this extraordinary level of fit and finish. We've developed manufacturing processes that are our most complex and ambitious. Starting with the aluminium, we machine all of the surfaces of the enclosure. We then polish and texture them. We then use crystalline diamonds to cut the chamfers. It's so exact that you're left with a near mirror finish. These techniques create a dramatic distinction between the product's lightly textured back and its highly polished chamfered edge. This manufacturing precision extends to how these many pieces seamlessly come together. The inlay of the product is matched to the housing through a highly sophisticated process. With the part on a conveyor, 2 high-powered cameras take pictures of the housing. An instantaneous analysis is done, and then the best match out of a possible 725 cuts is determined. The variances from product to product we now measure in microns. We believe that going to such extreme lengths is the only way that we can deliver this level of quality.